And I guess we are live.
Yeah, I think we are live. Should I start?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Muhammad Noman Shuja, the SCOME Regional Assistant for Asia Pacific. Uh, I'm really happy to host this webinar on SCOME-related IFMSA programs. Um, we'll be talking about SCOME-related IFMSA programs, and with me, I have our General Assistant Maru, our PC for Medical Education Systems Ahmed, and for PC for Teaching Medical Skills Maria, and an invitee with us from medical from Tunisia. Okay, Maru, can we have the slides?
Of course, yes. Let me share my screen. Uh, do we see it now?
I don't see it.
How about now?
Yeah, I can see it now. Okay. So the SCOME-related IFMSA programs. Uh, Basically, we'll start from what are programs basically, and then we'll move toward a bit of history about the programs, and then we'll talk about the structure of the programs and what can be enrolled in IFMSA programs. And later on, I'll hand over to Ahmed for talking about medical education systems, and then to Maria for teaching medical skills. Basically, IFMSA programs, these are, Maru, can you change a slide? Okay, so these are basically centralized streams of activities in which we address different medical education issues faced by medical students in a specific field. Uh, that's what basically a program serves. Um, then what basically program does, it actually connects the work of NMOs to the FMSA vision and mission, which obviously the vision about, you all know about, think globally and act locally. Then the programs are basically a way to measure the impact of FMSA work and the work of the NMOs on the societies we serve. It actually brings together our goals, our expectations, and success and passion, uh, and see on a larger scale the impact of our work on the world of medicine. Uh, Going to brief about the history of programs. Basically, in 2014, in the 63rd August meeting of FMSA, the programs were adopted. Before that, FMSA had the project support division, for which the responsible person was the project support division director, and he would basically be coordinating the FMSA international projects locally, globally, and after that, FMSA went through a transition and changed from the project-based system to the program-based. And the aim of this was to centralize the FMSA work, the activities of FMSA locally and globally, and to embody our motto, which is think globally and act locally. Okay, Maru, can you change the slide? Okay, basically, the FMSA programs are introduced in the GAs, which are proposed by the FMSA EB, and then voted by the NMOs, and then they are adopted, and that's how the programs comes into our federation. Then talking about what can be enrolled in the programs. That could be the educational activities. In that, we could be talking about the health issues. Suppose we are educating the masses about the health issues, the medical students about suppose stress and other type of things which are basically educational. We're educating the people in that. Then we are having the advocacy. We can enroll the advocacy activities in which we are basically attempting to influence the decisions of the politicians or the authorities on the policies made for the medical students or for the world of health. We are basically trying to influence that. And then we are having the campaigning activities, which are basically the combination of educational and advocacy activities. An example of that could be, suppose we are talking about human rights, and suppose there are violations of human rights in one part of the world. We are basically educating the masses about their rights are being violated at the same time. So the more and more people know about that, the people are educated, and there is a pressure on the government. So they obviously go and act according to that, and to give the rights to the people. So there's the advocacy aspect of it, and the educating the masses are the educational aspect of this. So campaigning comes under it. Then we can have the research activities, which basically we are producing the evidence in research type of activities. Then we can enroll the fundraising activities. In fundraising activities, we could basically we are supporting the individual or the vulnerable groups. Suppose there are children in any society, and like there's a flood, suppose, and we are fundraising for that to give it to the people to make their living standard better. That comes under it. And then we have the operational activities, in which suppose FMSA is coordinating with any of the local NGOs or acting directly to empower any group of people who are the victims of any type of suppose flood or anything, any disaster. So that's the operational activities. Then we move on to the structure. Maru, can you change the slide? Okay, so basically the structure of programs, it all starts from, let's start from the basics. We'll start from the activities. The very first step is in the activities, we have a different type of activities as we already discussed. This could be campaigns, educational activities, projects, workshops, conferences, and events. So these are basically the activities. There is one person responsible for it. To be honestly, like he's the person, the idea comes in his mind, which be basically called activity coordinator. So the activity coordinator is implementing basically the activity on the local or on the national level. She is coordinating with the program coordinator or program coordinators for different programs, and basically preparing the proposal for the activity, and then giving the reports of that. And the program he basically stays in touch with the program coordinator for further guidance, for any materials on that, toolkits, any stuff according to his or her activity. Then what the program coordinator does, they basically keep in touch with, they basically comes under the vice president of activities, the domain of the vice president of activities. They keep in touch with VPA, then the standing committee directors and the liaison officers. And through that channel, they basically build the capacity of our federation. They go to for the research and advocacy stuff. Then the program coordinator also analyze the data. All the reports are the proposal which she receives from the activity coordinators around the world, make a report of it, present it to the VPAs and to the NMOs. That's about the structure almost. Can we move, Maru? Okay. So of all the IFMSA programs, there are two programs which are the most related to the SCOME, and these are medical education systems, teaching medical skills, and the other two, the SCOME-related programs, which are basically more related to the ethics and human rights. So ethics and human rights in health is basically more related to the SCORP, but still it's also related to the SCOME, and health systems, which is more related to the SCOF. So now I'm inviting Ahmed, our program coordinator for medical education system, to talk about the medical education system and what type of activities could be enrolled in it. Ahmed?
So, hello everyone. Thank you, Naomi, for the invitation and for the neat introduction. So basically, my name is Ahmed and I come from IFMSA Egypt. This time I serve you as the IFMSA Program Coordinator of Medical Education Systems. So, in a nutshell, medical education systems as a program exists to serve your activities that work on the fields to be presented in the upcoming slide. So next, please, Maru. Next, please. Maru, can you please move to the next slide? Thank you. Yes. So basically, what are the focus areas of medical education systems program, or what we do in medical education systems program, under which you can actually enroll your activities. And by enrolling the activity, we mean centralizing your activity or you organize on local or national level. By centralizing it, we mean that we want to gather all the activities working on student involvement in the educational system under one stream of activities, which is medical education systems. For example, some NMOs might arrange or organize activities on, let's say, curriculum development workshops or curriculum development advocacy campaigns. Those are aiming to include or involve students in the education. So basically, this falls under this focus area. We also have other four main focus areas. We have other focus areas, but those 5 are the main focus areas. We have students' empowerment and motivation, and this also to serve the education for the sake of the future career as physicians. The third one is the medical curricula adapted to global education standards, which means curriculum development. So we also have inclusion of global health and medical curricula, which means that taking our own local education on a global level. The fifth one is recognition of non-formal education as a teaching method. For example, you can have a workshop. This workshop might discuss advocacy. This aims to include you in your education. So basically, this falls under the meaningful student involvement. What if this workshop talks about why do we study medicine, or why did we join medical school, or for what sake we have, for example, the social accountability workshops. They also can fall under the motivated, educated, and empowered medical students focus area, and so on. In the following 2 slides, we'll be seeing some numbers. I don't want you to be shocked by the numbers because this is why we have this webinar. So please, can we move to the following slides? Thank you, Maru. These slides precisely describe the situation from the last year. This brings us some statistics from the impact report from the past term. It tells us that to the left, you can see a graph. It's a pie chart. It tells you how many activities are enrolled per region. And to the right, you have another graph. It shows how many activities per type, not per region. For example, if we look to the left, we'll find that we have majorly activities enrolled from Europe, 14. Almost half of the activities enrolled last year were from Europe. And we also had the second place goes for the EMR, then Americas, then Asia Pacific. We see that Africa is a bit absent, and Americas come before Asia Pacific as regions. This should not disappoint us because this is why we have this webinar actually. Like, we have this webinar to promote the programs, to promote the activity enrollment, to increase those numbers. Why does this matter? Because those activities, actually, we have them collected in an impact report, and we understand, or basically we centralize the impact of the activities. So we can say IFMSA in the field of something it achieved this outcome. This will be more clear by going to the right and checking the infograph to the right. It categorizes activities per type. So for example, last year we find that around 13 activity, they fall under the focus area of capacity building. And 10 fall under the education focus area, 1 for advocacy, one for advocacy, 1 for research. And basically this means this was the distribution from last year, that we had the variety of activities, but I'm pretty sure that we have more activities discussing capacity building, for example, because we see more than 13 activity in publicized online or being presented inside GAs during SCOME sessions and so on. So what we aim here is to reflect those numbers or increase those numbers to match the current numbers. This is what we have been working on this year. So can we please check the following slides? Can we move to the next slide, please? Here we would see the current numbers of enrolled activities under medical education systems program till now. To the left, we would see it's like the same from the previous slide. To the left, we'd see the number of medical education systems enrollment per region since the beginning of the term till now. We would see that Europe is still having the highest score, but now the gap between Europe and EMR is actually getting narrowed, and Asia Pacific enrolled more activities till now, with which we also have no enrollments from Africa, which is inspiring, because I guess now we would have more activities from Africa enrolled. To the left, we'd have the types of activities, and we would see also the capacity building became the second in the same place with advocacy, with the highest number of activities enrolled for education. And research comes last. What does this mean? This actually means that NMOs are working more on advocacy, or we have more activities with advocacy-based focus areas, while we have more activities based on capacity building. So I can interpret this as we having increased advocacy campaigns around the world compared to the past year. In order to prove that, we need more enrollments on the advocacy on your activities. Like, for example, till now we had 16 activity enrolled on the medical education systems program. We believe that we have more activities around the world that fit on the medical education systems program. By now, I hope you gained like better comprehension on which activities can be enrolled under medical education systems. But let me take you in a brief journey through activities that can fit under those focus areas. For example, last year we had an activity working on advocacy for quality assurance from Europe. It's basically worked on exam simulation for the sake of quality assurance. We also had another activity from Europe. Also is what's called tutors for the new generation, which was also a quality assurance based activity. For example, if we come to the focus area on curriculum development, we would see that we had more activities on that. We had, for example, some activities from Asia Pacific on the integration in medical education. When it comes to, for example, awareness campaigns, we had awareness campaigns on ethics. We had awareness campaigns on interprofessional education, which is a very important pillar of our medical education system-based work. Additionally, we had many activities on career education, like what can we do in the future after graduation. Those activities are all of them are eligible to fall under medical education systems as an enrolled activity, and they will be accepted as enrolled even under different focus areas. So, for example, if we organize an awareness campaign followed by a workshop, or if we are organized an awareness campaign, sometimes we need to precede it with a capacity building workshop. So now we're working on awareness and capacity building as two different tools of work in SCOME. So by this, we hope that I hope that you have better vision on and better understanding on how things go for medical education systems. I personally hope that by the end of this webinar, the participants feel motivated to enroll more activities under medical education systems to participate in the impact measurement we do under those focus areas, because I'm pretty sure that we have more activities run on those focus areas by NMOs. Thank you so much.
Maru, can you change the slide? Okay, so we have Maria here, our program coordinator for teaching medical skills. Maria.
Hello, hope that you hear me well. So as I said, I'm Maria from Russia, and I'm program coordinator on teaching medical skills. So at the first, I would like to explain what is teaching medical skills for medical students who would like to be clinicians, and medical students generally. It's the most important part for their career, for their even education. So first of all, teaching medical skills, the main goals is complement the information students have in medical schools. So it can be curricular or extracurricular activities that students organize by themselves or by local committees, by animals, and etc. Then activities that aim to improve the competences of the future doctors on medical related topics, especially practical skills, and have a better healthcare in the future. Next slide, please. Why do we need teaching medical skills? Of course, first of all, as I said, it's so important for healthcare. And for future patients, for diagnostic, treating, and etc. Who would like to go to doctor who can't do some injections or something else? No one. That's why from the first years, each medical students needs to realize their practical skills every day, and to develop it more and more. That's why programs organized separately. Why it's teaching medical skills. Next slide, Maru. About how many activities was enrolled previous years. From 2015 till this 2016, it was 18 activities that was enrolled and reported. Then 2016 to 2017, it was less. It was 15. Then it was such higher level from 2017 to 2018. It was 38 activities that was enrolled and reported, and right now this year already reported 45 activities. So how we can improve teaching medical skills in our NMOs? It can be in different formats. For example, it can be organized like workshops, conferences, discussions, schools, collaboration with the other committees. Then it can be research associated seminars, competition, camps, and etc., where people can do in different formats, teaching more and more. So this year, as statistics showed, actually teaching medical skills have some parts like focus on surgery, on doctor-patient communication, on first aid, diagnostic measures, research basics for medical practitioners, clinical examination, and diagnostic test examinations. What we have this year it's surgery, unfortunately, just 7%, and first year 8, just 7% of all of the enrolled programs. So it's could be a bit higher because it's both of these focuses are the kind of the most important of them. And what else? So diagnostic measures is 18%, diagnostic test examination 14%, clinical examination 25 and 5%, and research basics for medical practitioners, it's 80%. So all of them are really interested. We have enrollments from each region except Africa, unfortunately. So Maru, can you please put next slide? Yes. So from Americas, we have 28 and 9% of enrollments. European regions, the most one is 35 and 6. Asia Pacific 33 and 3, and IMAR 2 and 2% of enrollment. So the goals is to improve, as I told about percentage on focuses. It's improve surgical skills and first aid, and to promote both of these focuses, and also other as well. So can you please put next slide? Yes, actually, that I told also. I missed history taken. This is also really, really important. It's 4% of focuses area, and soft skills for medical practitioners. It's 15%. The next slide. And of course, teaching medical skills are separated on 3 activities per type. It's capacity building, education, and campaign. Capacity building, of course, takes most of the percentage. It's 64. Then education takes 32%, and campaign is just 4%. So we would like to invite you, if you have any activities that you would like to show, that you would like to enroll, feel free to contact us, and we will help you with enrollment. And next slide.
Thank you, Maria. So yes, so you have checked the structure of IFMSA programs and the purpose of IFMSA programs, but you must be wondering why is it relevant to you as a member and activity coordinator to enroll an activity to IFMSA programs, which this slide, it shows us the many benefits that you can gain from the IFMSA programs. So first of all, let's start with the quality of activities. The programs coordinators that are here with us today, or that are in IFMSA in general, they are not only responsible for collecting the enrollment of activities, but also supporting members worldwide, wherever they are, in developing their activities and following up and checking out the quality of their activities. So whenever you, as an activity coordinator, enroll your activity or contact a program coordinator for assistance regarding the design and development of your activity, they are assisting you because they are experimented members and they have experienced in developing activities. So they will assist you in all the steps and they will share with you all the resources that are needed, and they will give you more ideas into how to implement an idea and how to start from an idea and until creating an impact. And speaking of an impact, this is one of the second benefits that IFMSA programs has, and it was one of the biggest purposes that IFMSA has gone through the transition from a project-based system to a programs-based system, which is to measure how IFMSA is creating an impact on a local level, um, which is the main the impact is measured by the enrollment of your activities and the data that you mentioned in the enrollment uh, form. And the program coordinators, by the end of each year, they create a program annual impact report where they see uh, how much, for example, our federation has impacted medical students worldwide. Speaking from a medical education perspective, they would measure, for example, how much education IFMSA provides to medical students. Uh, for example, how many medical students uh, have learned surgical skills through IFMSA activities, or um, how many medical students have been aware about uh, the medical education issues that are going in their medical education systems. So we not only we act locally and we think globally, and this is it helps us also act local, think locally and act globally, so we can align our work in IFMSA on both scales. Um, it the third benefit IFMSA programs allow us to have, which is collaboration. Program coordinators can sometimes notice that many NMOs in different countries uh, work in the same activity, and they can, for example, uh, make making contact all these activity coordinators so they can collaborate, and they can exchange ideas, uh, and they can, for example, improve their activity so they can make it better. So collaboration with other NMOs is an opportunity that IFMSA programs allow us to have. Not only that, but also it allows us to create partnerships with externals, not only on a global scale through the impact measurement that we do in each year through the programs, because for example, our liaison officers, when they go to external meetings representing IFMSA on a certain topic or on a certain issue, they present the impact that IFMSA activities create through the program annual report, and they present the data that is mentioned in that report to our externals. So it would push our advocacy efforts and strengthen our position as medical students worldwide. But also, it could help you on a local level create partnerships with the different stakeholders that are relevant to you. And from a medical education always perspective, it could help you create partnerships, for example, with your medical university or with other medical education stakeholders that are relevant to your activity. For example, if you're having let's just mention a random example. If you are creating an activity about teaching medical students doctor communications, doctor-patient communication skills, and you want this activity to be recognized by your faculty and to be part of your formal medical curriculum, you can, for example, show your dean, or you show your university president that this activity is being done by IFMSA. Here's how IFMSA assures the quality of this activity, and here's the number that IFMSA of the impact that IFMSA creates through this activity in the different NMOs. For example, you would tell them that IFMSA has, I'm just bringing up random numbers, but you can tell them, for example, that IFMSA created an impact on medical students through this activity by teaching like 4,000 medical students in 23 countries worldwide, uh, teaching them doctor-patient communication skills. And uh, we are also want to join this activity, and uh, we are we are also part of this activity, and we want it to be part of our formal medical curriculum. This is one of the benefits of not only assuring the quality and studying the impact, so it would allow you to create partnerships and not only involve uh, and not only being involved with partnerships so you can get recognition, but also so you can fundraise for your activity through the same process. So if you are running an activity uh, and you are seeking funding for this activity, you can it the impact of IFMSA uh, that creates on a global scale for the same activity that you are developing. You can use the data from the program annual report, and it can help you strengthen your claim to so you can ask for fundraising for this activity. And last but not least, capacity building, which on a global scale, it allows us to see uh, where we should capacitate our medical students so they can take action in medical education. So we would create this bridge between capacity building and activities, but also it would allow you to know more about the topics that you are working on in general. And if you um, if you, for example, approach the program coordinators for an idea of an activity that you are having, they would share with you all the resources and all the necessary tools that you would be needing so you can not only design this activity and develop it, but also assure its quality and a proper follow-up about it. So how to get in touch and how to be involved in the IFMSA programs. Simply, if you are developing an activity or you just having an idea about a problematic in your medical school and you want to do something about it, you can first of all just contact the program coordinators. They are always approachable and they are always here to support you and to guide you from the first steps of your activity. But also, if you are having already an activity that is being designed and you want to have the IFMSA recognition through the IFMSA programs, you can first of all fill the online form that is available on the IFMSA website. Just ignore this QR code because it's relevant to the previous activity enrollment form, but now it has been updated. So you need to be checking the IFMSA website. And once you fill you have to fill the enrollment form, and you would be also needing to have a candidature form that is has to be signed by your NMO president, or so you can assure that this activity is actually happening in your NMO. And once you fill the form and submit this candidature form, you will be contacted by the program coordinator, so they would give you feedback and they would help you in designing and developing and implementing your activity. So once your activity has been completed, you would need to fill a report form so you can see what has been implemented and what is the impact that you have created to this activity. So whether you have done this activity beforehand or and you haven't enrolled it yet, or you are still designing the activity, you can always enroll it and get the recognition of IFMSA programs. And just to get a perspective of what are the benefits of IFMSA programs in different NMOs. We have with us today Denomi from ISOCMA Tunisia. She will give us more her ideas and her view on IFMSA programs and how they helped her in her NMO. Rabia?
Okay, thank you. So, hello everyone. I'm Rawia from Tunisia, and I'm sharing with you our experience regarding the activities enrollment. Well, we started working on the activity enrollment last term, and we have enrolled until now 9 activities. Last term, we enrolled the local activities. So, the local officers, which are the coordinator of the activities, were assessed by the national team during the process of enrollment that Myro has explained. And this term we are working on the enrollment of national activities. So we enrolled the SCOME Boost, for example, under teaching medical education systems, and we received many questions about the activities because people see the activity on the database and they ask their questions, and these questions make us able to develop our activities. Well, actually, the benefits of the activity enrollment starts with filling the activity enrollment form itself, because it makes us conscious of how to set up an activity, like the step to set up a successful activity, and then the feedback of the program coordinator, which is very beneficial. And then on the national level, uh, we uh, we have the right to use the logo of IFMSA and introducing the activities as an activity which is recognized by IFMSA, which is an international federation. So it helps us to make collaborations with the faculties. I can say, for example, for the activity practical workshop. It helped us to make collaborations with the faculty, also with our new partners. And finally, um, this year we like it to share the experience of the activity enrollment with our members and all comedian members. So we are planning to introduce the concept of the activity enrollment during the national GA, so everyone can understand the benefits of the activities enrollment. What else? So this is basically the benefits of the activities enrollment, which are basically three: learning how to set up an activity, helping us with the collaboration with the faculties and external partners, and finally, making awareness with the members and all comedians. So I have shared a sum up of our experience with activities enrollment. If anyone have a question about it, I'll be very happy.
Thank you, Rabia. That was very helpful. And if you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to drop them in the chat that we are having uh, on YouTube. And I don't see any questions so far.
Should we wait for the questions for a minute or two?
Yes, Nomi.
I think we should wait for a minute for the questions. If no questions, then we can
Of
finish the
course,
webinar?
yes. We can give like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I just want to add one more thing. There are many resources that are related to activities and IFMSA programs. You can go to the IFMSA website, IFMSA, www.ifmsa.org/activities, and you would see, for example, the activities database that would allow you to discover different activities that have been enrolled in the IFMSA programs and to which program that they are belonging and what focus areas they treat and all the details, and even contacts of the activity coordinators, so you can, as Rabia said, get in touch with them and learn about them. Um, there are also different manuals that IFMSA has produced, such as the From Idea to Impact manual, which is a very useful manual for you, not only to help you fill the activity enrollment form, but also to give you an idea on how to perfectly design an activity in IFMSA and how to create the most impact from it. Um, Yes, and if you have any questions or anything, do not hesitate to contact the program coordinators. We have medical skills at ifmsa.org for teaching medical skills, or meded systems at ifmsa.org for medical education systems. And just stay tuned also in the IFMSA SCOME Worldwide group in Facebook. We're going to share with you in the upcoming 2 days some examples of activities that have been enrolled in the IFMSA programs. And so you can get a deeper insight of SCOME activities, and it would help you. It would not only inspire you so you can have different and new ideas, but also help you sharpen the ideas that you already have and create a better impact. I guess we do not have any questions. Um, Thank you guys so much for being with us, and do not hesitate to contact us and reach out to any of us if you need anything regarding IFMSA programs or anything else you need.
In case you have questions after you watch this webinar, you can contact us, uh, our general assistant Maru, or contact me through our emails. We can answer it anytime.
Goodbye, everyone, and I think we are still live, but
Goodbye, everyone.
as Numi has said,
Goodbye, everyone.
yeah,
Goodbye, Maru.
Hello.
yes, we are still live, and okay.